upon it, my question. And the background is we have military warplanes landing in Shannon, staying overnight, staying for hours. We're reliant on people like the Ditch, like Ed Horgan, and other concerned citizens who are bringing it to our attention. Military warplanes going through, carrying tons of weapons, staying overnight or passing through. And my question today, Shannon Airport, and my question today is your plans to end the use of Irish airports by foreign military aircraft. So if you could address yourself to that in the context of what's actually happening. Thanks.
So you're saying there's military aircraft landing with tons of arms and all the rest?
Yeah, I am, absolutely.
Oh, well, sorry, well, I just wanted to clarify that.
Both passing through and landing for a number of hours.
I didn't hear that. Sorry. So I hadn't heard the early part. That's the reason I just saw clarification. So I'll take 6 and 7 together. Under the terms of the Air Navigation Foreign Military Aircraft Order of 1952, all foreign military aircraft wishing to overfly or land in the state requires diplomatic clearance from the Minister for Foreign Affairs. Diplomatic clearance is only provided where the strict conditions set out by my department are fully met, including that the aircraft is unarmed, that it carries no arms, ammunition or explosives, that it does not engage in intelligence gathering, and that the flight in question does not form part of a military exercise or operation. This policy is well known and is fully understood by the United States and other international partners, and is done in full compliance with Ireland's traditional policy of military neutrality. Foreign military aircraft which are given permission to land in Ireland are not subject to inspection in this regard. Sovereign immunity, a long-standing principle of customary international law, means that a state may not exercise its jurisdiction in respect to another state or its property, including state and military aircraft. This principle applies automatically to foreign state or military aircraft in the same way that it applies to Irish state or military aircraft abroad. Successive governments have made landing facilities available at a number of Irish airports to the United States and other foreign militaries for well over 50 years. Arrangements for foreign military aircraft to land in Irish airports are governed by strict conditions, as I've already outlined, and these conditions are applicable to foreign military aircraft from all other countries seeking to land in Ireland or overfly Irish airspace. And my department ensures that detailed procedures are in place to ensure that all relevant parties are fully aware of the requirements relating to applications for permission for foreign military aircraft to overfly or land in the state.
Just let me read out some of the facts. On the 3rd of October, Omni Air, and the figure is given. On the 4th of October, another airline. On the 4th of October, I send all this on to you. I have 1 minute. These are all documented airplanes, either on contract to US military or otherwise, landed at Shannon Airport. They're 1, 2, 3, all reported in the Ditch. Ed Horgan has brought it to our attention yesterday. 3 US warplanes were at Shannon Airport and documents them. Are you seriously telling me that you're reliant on assurances from our friend America that's backing Israel to the hilt in terms of arms and backing a genocidal war in Gaza? The figures are just incredible. I actually feel shocked reading out the figures of the death in Gaza, and I deplore all violence. So let's not go down the route of just singling out one country, that accusation. 16,756 children have been killed, the highest number of children. According to UNRWA, every day 10 children lose one or both legs, and I could go on. The figure, 42 Palestinians dead, 100,000 injured, backed to the hilt by American arms who have given the thumbs up. Do you know what they said? Just be more precise in your bombing. Try and avoid civilians. Martin.
Making there. First of all, I condemn the war on Gaza. So I know, but you've conflated everything there.
Sorry.
So I didn't interrupt you, Deputy, and through the chair, if I may. I just want to make the point that, first of all, let's be very clear. Everybody in this House has called, no matter what our perspectives are, where we come from politically, have called for an immediate ceasefire, an end to the war in Gaza. We've condemned the bombardment and the collective punishment of people in Gaza. I condemn what's happening in Lebanon, 1 million people displaced, and I condemn what's happening in the West Bank, which is really working, where the Israeli government supporting settlers have engaged in a new land grab with a view to undermining viability of a future Palestinian state. Now, in terms of, I mean, the charter planes have been landing in Shannon for quite a long time with American soldiers. Those charter planes do not carry weaponry or military weapons. Different planes are characterized as military planes. Doesn't necessarily mean they're carrying any major cargo of weapons, which has been asserted from time to time. And we haven't received any evidence, by the way, that major military cargoes of weapons are stopping at Shannon. The overwhelming, and I ask anyone below, is a commercial use of Shannon for the transport of soldiers back from all over the world. Through and using Shannon as a tool.
You can't find out if you don't look. You can't find out if you don't inspect. You can't find out if you don't go down and not rely on reassurances from an American state that's back in Israel to the core. The last figure I have is that the US has spent 17.9 billion on military aid to Israel since last October. That's the Brown University's Cost of War project released last Monday. And you're standing here today and telling me that you're reassurances and telling me I'm conflating things. I'm conflating nothing. In my experience and from what I've read and learned, military planes are going through Shannon carrying weapons, either landing or going through our airspace. Ye haven't checked, so you don't know. How do you think the planes are getting to carry out the war in Israel and drop the bombs that they're doing? What airspace are they using if they're not using Ireland and if they're not landing in Ireland? You earlier said they stopped to refuel. There is an obligation and a duty on us not to be complicit in genocide, and we're complicit in genocide if we don't examine and inspect the planes. Thank you.
I don't agree with that. I think it's a fundamental distortion to suggest we're complicit in genocide, and an outrageous assertion. And it's a bit propagandistic too, if I have to say so. I knocked at the door recently and a person said to me, all the weapons are being supplied from Shannon. No evidence at all, but that's what's being told. That's what you're creating deliberately, that misinformation about that. And also deliberately creating a degree of confusion between flying through sovereign airspace and landing at Shannon. Completely different scenarios. It is entirely possible for people to fly through our airspace, and we may not pick it up. I acknowledge that. We're not a military nation. We don't have fighter jets. We're not patrolling the skies. I think we need a bit of perspective here as well in terms of the issue of the sovereign airspace versus the airspace we control outside of our sovereign airspace. But there is a fundamental difference. And the challenge is no state exercises its jurisdiction over military aircraft that land. So if the President of America lands, that's a military aircraft, by the way, Force One. If that lands in Shannon, it's not inspected. And there's different types of aircraft and so on like that.